Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Donna Raymond. I'm really glad that you can join me here today or this evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. I've just created a simple little presentation for you today with respects to doTERRA essential oils, pretty much looking at ancient wisdom and modern applications for this beautiful, beautiful therapeutic medicine. So let's get started. Okay, so what you're going to learn in this little presentation is what essential oils are, how they work, why essential oils need to be in every home. I'm going to share a little bit about my story and some of my favorite oils, why you should choose doTERRA, and how to have these products in your life. So let's get started. So just a little bit of a brief history with respects to essential oils. These are not new in any means. Essential oils have been around for thousands of years, and they can actually be traced back to Egypt. And as we know, within Egypt, in their varying different mystery practices, that they would use aromatic herbs in their embalming processes, and they would also have particular infused oils as well in the tombs of their pharaohs. So from my perspective, I consider essential oils as nature's medicine. So it's just a little slide that I found here. Over 60% of prescriptions and over-the-counter drugs and medications contain synthetic modifications or copies of natural compounds derived by botanicals. So what that means is we have this modern quote, Western medicine industry, the pharmaceutical industry per se. Now, what they have done, and blessings, it works in the areas that they work for, but essentially what they've done is they've turned to nature and they have extracted the particular chemical compounds and healing qualities of various different plants, and then they've synthesized them and joined them with other ways to create their own drugs. And the reason why they do this is because they can put a patent on it, and then they can regulate the market as well. They can also then create strenuous testing, yada, yada, yada. So that's the difference, is essential oils come in their whole form, extracted from the plant, and the drugs are the synthesized version of those same healing qualities. We each have the innate ability to heal ourselves, to empower ourselves with natural solutions instead of succumbing to the life-altering chemicals. There's a time and a place for pharmaceuticals, but it shouldn't be the first answer, nor the only form of treatment. And I thoroughly agree with this. I am not one to discredit the Western pharmaceutical industry or Western medicine in any way. It has benefits and it serves a purpose and it has a place, but so do these alternative medicines and alternative therapies as well. And it all comes back to our choices, being informed and empowered enough to seek alternatives before going down that synthesized route as well. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are potent and highly volatile aromatic compounds extracted from plant matter. So whenever you have an aromatic plant, if you were to rub it together inside your hands and smell it, breathing in that aroma, what you are breathing in there is the essential oil. So we can extract essential oils from the seeds, flowers, leaves, stem, bark, and roots of aromatic plants. So if you just have a look down here on the purple little picture there, you'll see these little globule looking things. So that is, it's a zoomed in picture of the oil sacs on a peppermint leaf. So essentially the essential oil, from my understanding and based on the research that I have done, is they are the defense mechanism of the plant. They are responsible for the health and the well-being and to be able to have that plant thrive. So we extract essential oils by steam distillation, or for most citrus oils are cold pressed from the rind. They are very potent as well, so they're up to 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So if you're looking at peppermint, for instance, there is around 40 cups of peppermint tea per 1 drop of peppermint essential oil. So our bodies are biologically programmed to react to essential oil constituents, which interact with a variety of receptor sites, neurochemicals, and enzymes, giving them a potential for therapeutic activity. So essential oils, they are effective. And one of the ways that I like to explain this, and if you're having a look at this diagram here, is we have a cell, right? And within that cell, we have the external wall, which is the defense mechanism of the cell, which is responsible for keeping out, uh, pathogens or free radicals or anything like that that's going to penetrate that cell wall. And that cell is locked in, safe and secure. A lot of bacterial infections happen on the outside of that cell wall. The bacteria can't actually penetrate into the nucleus of the cell, but viruses can. The interesting part that I've learned about pharmaceutical medicines being a synthetic water-based medicine is they cannot actually penetrate the cell wall. So they're not effective in treating viruses. And you might have an experience of going to your local general practitioner with a bit of a virus, or you're feeling unwell. You'll go there, go and get your bloods tested, and they'll generally prescribe you antibiotics. Yeah? You'll go back in about a week later, you'll get your results, and they'll say, oh, it's a virus, there's nothing we can do, you've just got to ride it out. Your system will just go through its motions to heal itself. The beautiful part about using essential oils is they're lipid soluble. So what that means is it is an oil-based medicine. It can penetrate the cell wall. It is effective with helping to treat virus and viral infections as well. So they work because of the main chemical constituents in there, which are the phenols, the phenyl propanoids, monoterpenes, and sesquiterpenes, and I'll go into them in a little bit, and that they can also penetrate that transdermal layer. So they go through the skin into the cells and into the bloodstream as well. So this is just a little bit of an overview. I'm not going to go too heavy into the chemistry, and I, for one, it kind of does my head in too. But they're nature's chemistry lab, and the more you start to look into this side of it, the more fascinating essential oils are, and then it opens up this whole world of practical applications that we can actually use and benefit from these therapeutic qualities. So we've got the phenols, and this is a particular oxygenated hydrocarbon that clean the receptor sites of the cell. So they create unfriendly environments for bacteria and viruses to live, and they aid in cellular communication. So oils are phenols, or a high percentage of phenols, are anise, clove, basil, oregano, thyme, and cinnamon. Then we've got the next one, which is the sesquiterpenes, and they have the ability to pass the blood-brain barrier and deliver oxygen to the limbic system, supporting the pituitary and pineal gland. They release antibodies and endorphins and cleanse neurotransmitters. They erase or unscramble bad information from the DNA. That is amazing in and of itself. So what they're doing is they're driving in and they're starting to cleanse those receptor sites so that the cells can start to communicate more efficiently together, and in that way it allows the body to come back into homeostasis, back into balance, and allows the body to actually heal itself. And then the next ones we have is the monoterpenes. So they restore DNA or awaken the correct information in the cell memory. They have the ability to reprogram cells with the correct information and restore cell function, which will assist in healing. Pretty fascinating stuff. So we go into aromatherapy. There's two schools of aromatherapy. There is the US model and the UK model, pretty much. And now only just recently we're starting to see a new science become invested in understanding how aromatherapy works and understanding the science behind essential oils and how they work as well. So I want to just speak a little bit about the olfactory system. So aroma stimulates the olfactory bulb located in the nasal passage and works through the limbic system. Essential oils are lipid soluble, which I mentioned before, which makes them effective on a cellular level. With a light molecular weight, essential oils cross the blood-brain barrier, carrying oxygen to the brain and assist in releasing neurochemicals to support the body in managing and regulating emotions and mood. So what's beautiful about this is when we're breathing or inhaling that aroma, it's working on that cellular level. It's traveling up through this olfactory system, and we can actually use it to support ourselves for Yeah, healing for medicinal qualities as well, but also emotional resilience and personal empowerment. And I love to use aromatic anchors. So when you understand how the brain works to some degree, whenever there is high emotion around something, those receptor sites in the brain, they fuse. Yeah, and that's why we can have a lot of habits come about which are really hard to break. We can actually create our own aromatic anchors. So using certain smells that we like to break those patterns, and we can actually have the capacity to retrain our brain. This is really important, I find, in helping with trauma or people that are living with anxiety or post-traumatic stress response as well. So I'm really passionate about seeing essential oils in every home. They can be used as a natural alternative for medicine or prevention medicine. You can use them for non-toxic cleaning. You can use them for your general health and well-being, for pain management and relief, immune support. You can use them to assist in enhancing your mood, for emotional healing and support, for stress management. Our culture is so overwhelmed with stress as it is unbelievable. You can also use them to create a strong spiritual connection to yourself, to the divine, to God, whatever name you want to call it, and you can use them as tools for healing. So there's a few different types of ways that we can use essential oils. The first one is through inhaling it. So that's just breathing in the aroma of the essential oils. We can use them topically through massage as well, or during a bath. So it's, we're soaking in the goodness of those essential oils. We can diffuse them as well, and we can also ingest them. I just put up this little slide I found on the internet. So I just want to put out a little thank you. So some slides that I've found here, I've just Googled and put them in. I didn't, want to reinvent the wheel. So big, wonderful thank you to the individuals or people who have put some of these images together. It saved me a lot of time. So I'll just leave this up a little up here. You can have a look over. It just gives you a little bit of an overview of medicinal applications for using essential oils. One of my favorites is lavender. That is, a general all-rounder. You can use that topically. It is an analgesic, so it's great for using when you have a headache, and it's great for using for calming, insect bites, itches, all sorts of things. So drugs and oils work in opposite ways. Drugs toxify, oils detoxify. Drugs clog and confuse receptor sites, oils clean receptor sites. Drugs depress the immune system and oils strengthen the immune system. Antibiotics attack bacteria indiscriminately, killing both the good and the bad. Oils attack only the harmful bacteria, allowing our body's friendly flora to flourish. Safety first. Okay, so when we are working with the oils, doTERRA oils are certified pure therapeutic grade, meaning that they are the highest quality oils on the market. As I mentioned before, 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to around 40 cups of peppermint tea. So the therapeutic potency of the oils is not based on aromatic strength or flavor. This is really important if you're going to be working with your essential oils in cooking. So what that means is, for instance, I know a lot of people that like little bliss balls, with your nuts and your dates, and a peppermint is a really beautiful oil to be using in that for flavor. You wouldn't be dousing your bliss balls in, 10 drops of peppermint oil because you want a strong peppermint flavor. You've got to be really mindful of the type of oil you're using and how strong they are as well. Some oils are so strong that they can cause burns and irritation on the skin, and you have to use them cautiously and definitely keep them out of reach of children. Always read the labels before use as well. So just a little graphic here to be mindful. I always share that citrus oils in particular are photosensitive. So what that means is that they can create a topical sunburn. So it's really important to be mindful if you're using them as a perfume or topically on the skin to not go out into the direct sun, because you don't want to create a little burn. Some oils are really hot, particularly like peppermint can be quite kind of hot cooling depending on how sensitive you are. Oregano and your spice oils as well. So it's always important, general rule of thumb when you are using essential oils topically is to use them with a carrier oil. So you could use them with fractionated coconut oil, or maybe macadamia oil or another oil that you like to use. And the reason why is that every body is different. The way that my body responds to essential oils is going to be different to the next person. So you've just got to be really mindful and go at it cautiously to begin with. And then you can start to experiment a little within your own means as you understand your body and how they work with these beautiful oils. So never put the oils in or around your eyes or your ears or mucous membranes, and definitely diluting them for children as well. So here's a little bit of a backstory for me. So my first introduction to essential oils pretty much was through Eden Botanicals, and they had a beautiful sandalwood blend. Sandalwood is one of my favorite oils. So I used to use that as a perfume. And in 2006, I was working as casual cleaner on a super yacht down in Cairns, and they were using diluted lavender and diluted eucalyptus oil for all of their cleaning. And then when, of course, I asked questions, I was curious, and I found out that lavender was antimicrobial and antibacterial as well. And the eucalyptus was to give that fresh aroma throughout the boat. So that was very interesting. In 2009, I forgot to write it on this list actually, I started my massage degree. I did a diploma in rain and massage therapy, and part of that was an aromatherapy unit, and that was really beautiful because I got to have a basic understanding of the oils and how they work for massage, and also learn how to create really potent and powerful blends as well, like what oils work with what. So in 2007, that was during my pregnancy with Aurora. I used clary sage and lavender in the labor room. And 2010, I was introduced by a beautiful friend of mine, Liz, into the world of Young Living essential oils. And the basis for that was for mold prevention. Now, I live in North Queensland, Australia, in the rainforest, so mold is just a part of life here. And this one particular year, we had an intense mold bloom. It was so hard to get rid of. We were having respiratory problems from it, constantly getting sick, sniffles. My hay fever, histamine levels just kind of went through the roof, and it was a really terrible time, pretty much. So I got onto the Young Living oils and started to use essential oils pretty much to combat the mold and to also get rid of the chemical cleaners in my home. I was using peppermint for my bench tops to get rid of the ants that would come in whenever it was raining, or sometimes we have native mice that would come in. Don't worry, they're not the freaky looking rats or anything. They're quite cute, but still it is a vermin, and I have children, so I have to be mindful of that. And I knew that they didn't like the smell of peppermint, was too strong, so I put that in my cleaning for my bench tops as well, and then on the floors as well. Lavender, of course, I was using eucalyptus in my washing, lemon, as that's really refreshing and purifying. So then we come to 2016. So last year, I joined the wonderful world of doTERRA through Leonie Dawson, and that's opened me up into a whole new world of essential oils. So in between that 6-year span, yeah, I knew about essential oils. I was using them here and there, but I didn't have that education behind me to continue my relationship and getting to know how to use essential oils better. So it ended up being like a luxury item. I just kind of pushed it off to the side. And at the same token, I was a single mother too. So, it was an expense that in my mind's eye, I couldn't justify as a need. It was just a luxury. And so now, journeying through doTERRA, they have absolutely changed my life. The frankincense and the lavender, I use that daily, and that allows me to shift out of my mama bear funk, because I pretty much haven't slept properly in over 13 months with my youngest daughter, Luca. I'm also on the supplements now, the lifelong vitality supplements, which are changing my life. It's lifted me out of that brain fog. I'm feeling grounded and clear, and I'm starting to feel my energy levels come back. And I know I definitely am a prime candidate for adrenal fatigue and stress. It runs in my family, so does depression. And part of the reason why choosing the lifelong vitality supplements is, albeit at the moment I don't really have the time to, take a day off and go and sit by the river and just switch off. So this is my way of investing in my health and well-being, and this is my self-care ritual every single day. So then the start of this year, I decided to create an abundant doTERRA business, and now I am sharing it with others. So my favorite oils I mentioned before is sandalwood. I absolutely love sandalwood. Sandalwood is really beautiful for emotional resilience. If ever you're feeling overwhelmed or ungrounded, high emotions flying around, just put a little bit of sandalwood on your wrist, breathe it in deeply, rubbing some on your heart as well. And it has this beautiful ability to bring you back into your body and just to recenter. Then we've got frankincense. Frankincense is known as the king of all oils, and they say if in doubt, use frankincense. You can use it aromatically, topically, and you can also ingest it as well. And that's quite safe to use neat, which means straight out of the bottle, undiluted. So as I said, I'm using frankincense every day. It has been known to help instigate some pretty wild dreaming as well, so just being mindful of that. And I'm using it at the moment to treat a little scar that I had, a little biopsy on my face, so to help with that scarring. We've got jasmine. Okay, so I have 3 different species of jasmine in my garden because I love the smell of jasmine. It is otherworldly to me. It really creates this sweetness in my life. So I've strategically planted it around my garden so that during the different seasons when the winds come through, it permeates through my space. So they say that it's got a masculine quality to this flower, which I find is really interesting because, the scent is quite sweet, but it's quite strong as well, and a really beautiful one to use spiritually, I find too. And then we've got lavender. Lavender is an amazing all-rounder. This should be in everybody's household beyond a doubt. So as I said before, it's an analgesic, so it's great for headaches, a natural alternative for headaches. If you mix that with a bit of peppermint as well to relieve any tension headaches, you apply it at the back of your neck and to the temples. It's really great to calm your children, so you could diffuse that or put a drop on your hands and on the soles of your children's feet as well with some fractionated coconut oil. It's actually really awesome for burns, and I didn't believe this until I burnt my finger really badly cooking dinner one night, and I was like, oh, I've heard lavender's really good. So I'm a bit of a skeptic, so I applied it neat, and then within 5 minutes that really throbbing blistery sting had gone from my burn. So it was quite amazing for me. Rosemary. When I was a child, I used to have sprigs of rosemary beside my bed. Yeah, a little bit of a weird kid, and I just love it. I love the smell of it. So rosemary is really good to use topically to help your circulation. Now, anemia runs in my family, so I've got to be really mindful of that, particularly during any pregnancies. This is just to be mindful of. Rosemary is an oil that you kind of want to avoid at all costs. So it helps with your circulation as well. I'm using it on my foot too. I've got a bit of arthritis from a long-term injury that I had there. And it's also really good to aid in mental clarity and stimulation. It helps with developing your memory as well. Lemon is a beautiful all-rounder. I use it in my cleaning. I diffuse it. It's fantastic for if your histamine levels are out of whack, you have seasonal allergies, apply a couple of drops in the palms of your hand, rub them together and take deep breaths, and you'll find that it can help with that nasal congestion and that itch in your throat. I know for me, when I use it, I'll either use this or I'll mix it with the Easy Air blend for my hay fever, and it stops that itching in my eyes. Lemon's really beautiful to use first thing in the morning. Put a drop in a glass of warm water to help your digestive tract kind of, kick started in the morning. One of my all-time favorites is the On Guard. and I love this blend. I use it every day. I have all of the On Guard cleaning. I've got the On Guard toothpaste as well, and the hand wash as well. It is just beautiful. It's not as strong. If anyone is familiar with the Young Living, it's not as strong on the cinnamon spice level as the Thieves is, and it's got the wild orange in it as well. So it's really beautiful for diffusing, or if you use it in an atomizer or nebulizer to kill mold spores, it'll actually attack the mold spores. And On Guard, I actually found a scientific paper that shows how On Guard kills the influenza virus, which is fantastic. So this is used for immune support at the first sign of any sickness, throat infection, flu-like symptoms, anything like that. You would diffuse it in your house, and also a drop or two on your hands diluted with fractionated coconut oil, rubbing that on the soles of your feet at night time, and you can apply it on your chest as well and your throat. And then we go into the lifelong vitality supplements. Now, I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of the supplements. I know for me, having a full-on aversion to supplements, it was just not my thing. I'm not into vitamins or taking other things. And it took me a while to build up the courage to actually take these. And now I'm about a month through, and I can definitely wholeheartedly say that these are changing my life. I am purchasing this as part of my self-care routine. Every month I order these, which is beautiful because they're a 30-day supply. And that's just the commitment to myself, to my health and well-being, and also prevention medicine. So I'm 32 this year, and I'm looking long term, like what can I do now to support myself later? And this is it for me, as well as, you know, running around the kids and with the kids and exercise, all those other things. So why doTERRA? doTERRA means gift of the earth. It is certified pure therapeutic grade. They have co-impact partnerships. They source their plants indigenously. They have a really strong humanitarian and philanthropic endeavors, and they are a company with complete integrity. Certified pure therapeutic grade, what does it mean? So before I started my doTERRA journey, I ordered my oils before I'd even sampled them. I'd never even tried doTERRA before. My interest was in the integrity of the company and how the company conducted itself, because, you know, there was a bit of resistance from me with the whole, you know, network marketing thing. And, you know, there's a lot of different companies in the world which share their products in the same way. And I was like, nah, if it didn't align with my morals and my ethics, I didn't want to know anything about it. So one of the first things that I did, being a bit of a critical mind that I am, was to research all of the bad things about the company. And I found two main things that were coming up on the internet. And one of those was that certified pure therapeutic grade is a made up term, right? And I was like, oh, okay, let's look into this a bit more. So the essential oil market is unregulated. And what that means is that you could have the lowest quality oil full of all sorts of stuff in there, you know, different chemicals or synthetic compounds, pesticides, whatever, and they can state that they are a therapeutic grade essential oil, and you would not know the difference. And they could sell that to you. You could buy it at your local $2 shop or whatever. So because the industry or the marketplace is unregulated, what doTERRA has done is they have put their foot down, and they're kind of standing for what they believe in, and they are holding the quality and value of their product and standing behind it with this trademark of certified pure therapeutic grade. Now, it's not just a term that they're throwing out there. They do strenuous testing for their oils. And the beautiful part about that, whenever you get your oils in front of you, on the bottom of the bottle, you'll see a little code. And you can go to a website that's source2you.com, plug in that little code, and it will give you the chemical analysis of that batch of oil. They're completely transparent in that respect. And I love that. I love that, you know, we have an unregulated market, and we have a company is saying, well, hey, this is what we stand for. We're going to set the standard here. And they are doing so. They do have the most potent and powerful pure essential oils on the market. And why they're so potent and powerful is because these plants are grown or they're sourced rather, wherever they're grown natively through co-impact partnerships. So what that means is doTERRA will, if they're sourcing a particular oil, they will go to wherever that plant natively grows. So it's an indigenous species, and they will create relationships with the farmers or with the villagers. And through co-impact partnerships and through their sourcing, they then can help to empower these different communities by creating that distillation process. So there's jobs coming in there, there's money, it's all fair trade as well. And then it comes back for strenuous testing, and then, you know, we have the product at the end. So it's a really, really beautiful model. The whole business is based about sustainable relationships as well. So for instance, looking at where plants grow indigenously, I know the tea tree and eucalyptus obviously is from Australia. The lavender is from France. Where the oranges were from, was it Italy or Spain? I can't remember off the top of my head, my baby brain at the moment. But this just shows you a little bit of a map of where they source their plants. And one thing you need to know is that wherever a plant grows natively in its traditional indigenous soil, what that means is the therapeutic qualities of that plant are going to be more potent to a plant that's been, you know, bred over time and you find in a farm somewhere on the other side of the planet. So philanthropy, this is the part that made my heart sing. And I am a philanthropist at heart, and it's one of my big dreams as well. So I'm just going to focus on three main programs or projects that they have. One of them is the Days for Girls. Then we've got Operation Underground Railroad and the Mentors International. So the Days for Girls program that they have set up, that they've partnered with, is a lot of wellness advocates come together, and they will actually create menstrual pads, and they create these beautiful little packages that are then sent to young girls in developing countries that may not have access to feminine hygiene products. They may be shunned or go through that whole taboo that, you know, when you bleed, you're dirty, and it kind of creates this tainted view of what it means to be a woman in the world. And so they spread awareness and education with menstruating young women coming into the world. And I think that that's so beautiful, particularly for me personal, because I work with empowering women through the Red Tent movement as well. So that's quite close to my heart. Then we've got the Operation Underground Railroad. When I heard about this story, I just had tears in my eyes. And then there's a video that you can have a look at on the website as well. So what Operation Underground Railroad is this program set up essentially to help rescue children from child trafficking and sex slavery. Pretty phenomenal, right? And what they're doing is, so what doTERRA has partnered with Operation Underground Railroad, so they've created the Hope Blend, and all proceeds from that, or the profits that go from that, go towards funding for Operation Underground Railroad. They actually had a little hope oil drop around, I think it might have been Thailand, don't quote me on that one, and they spread oils around, and on the inside of the label had different resources and phone numbers or safe houses, so that if a girl picked up that oil and read it, they could find their way to these safe houses and that they could rescue the children that way. Mentors International is like a micro lending program for developing countries as well. So rather than just plugging a whole heap of money and charity in, it's allowing them to take out their own loans, to be empowered through different business or entrepreneurial endeavors that is going to help their community and to establish these businesses and a thriving economy as well. Where are we? This one. So yeah, the big thing, the draw card for me, which had me jump fully on board, was their ethics, morals, and that this is a company with integrity. So if you believe in essential oils, they work. And if you don't believe in essential oils, they still work. So how do you get your oils? Well, the best way to get them is to become a doTERRA wellness advocate. So what does that mean? Well, you can join two ways. So you can have a one-up $35 membership fee, and what that will give you is access to the oils and the other products at wholesale prices, which means you are going to save 25% off the retail price. You also have access to the loyalty rewards program, which is how I buy my oils and my supplements as well. It's the only way to get the lifelong vitality supplements. It also, through the loyalty rewards program, you have the opportunity to receive free product, and you can also have the opportunity to earn up to 30% back in rewards points, which is like doTERRA dollars essentially, which you can use to redeem more free product, which is pretty amazing. You also have the opportunity to contribute to the Healing Hands Foundation, all of their amazing philanthropic projects that they're helping with. And you have the opportunity to earn commissions. So if you want to build an abundant business with residual income, doTERRA has the best compensation plan within the industry. It was pretty amazing. So if you're looking at becoming a wellness advocate and you want to start with your oily journey, it's the wisest decision to make. The most intelligent way to purchase is with an enrollment kit. The reason why you do that is within the kit, it kind of includes that $35 fee. But when you bundle the oils together, you also save more money as well than if you were to purchase them individually at that wholesale price. So in Australia, this is the biggest kit that we have access to at the moment, which is the oil sharing kit. And if you have a look on the side here, this little purple little flaggy thing here, it shows here that you have that loyalty discount of 20%. Now, I'll explain this a little bit more, but that's really important to have a look at what percentage you buy into. And you also get 200 LRP credits. So that's that product points that you can use to redeem free oils, pretty much. It's amazing. This company is so generous. In America, the biggest kit that they have to buy in, and when you speak to most wellness advocates that have been doing it for a while, everybody kind of wishes that they started with this kit, and most of us didn't know that this was even an option. So this is pretty much every product that doTERRA has. So you've got your cleaning, your supplements, your oil range, your spa range, the emotional aromatherapy, the touch blends, the supplements and the greens. I think I kind of covered it all there. And then you have budget friendly ones. So if you just want to enter in and start out with your family, you're a little bit, conscious of not blowing your budget, but you still want to have access to your oils. A beautiful little kit to start with is the Essential Collections, which comes with a metabolic blend, Smart and Sassy. And so that includes these 10 oils here. So those oils are Easy Air, which is like the equivalent to Vicks pretty much, Digest Zen, Frankincense, Ice Blue, which is like your muscle rub, Lavender, Lemon, On Guard, that protective blend, Oregano, which is a really powerful anti-parasitic, Peppermint Tea Tree. You also get the diffuser as well, and it includes your enrollment for the Home Essentials kit. So if you have a look at these two, they have the same oils. The Essentials collection has the 5 ml bottles, so they're a lot smaller, and the Home Essentials kit has the 15 ml bottle. So the difference in the kit, you can have a look at the price. So the Essentials collection is $174 for 10 oils, and that bonus Smart and Sassy. Or for $330, you can get 3 times as much oil and a diffuser as well for almost double the price. And then we have some other different little kits as well. The Aroma Touch is, if you're a massage therapist and you want to start using these oils in your massage therapy, that's a really beautiful kit to start with. The fractionated coconut oil, what that is it's missing one of the fats, so it doesn't leave that greasy residue, and it doesn't sit on top of the skin. So it's really quite thin as an oil, and it doesn't solidify as well. Sometimes when you get coconut oil and, it's coming into the cooler months and your coconut oil starts to solidify. Then you've got the daily usage, which is kind of like a mid-range kit. So that's going to include those 10 oils from the Essentials collection and a few other of the mood managing ones. You've got your On Guard Clean Air and toothpaste, your hair care, the Deep Rub blend, and some DDR Prime capsules and a diffuser as well. So then we get into loyalty rewards program, which is what we have access to when we become a wellness advocate. And I love this system. It is amazing because you get free oils. And it is a little bit confusing. I won't go too much into detail, but essentially when you sign up as a wellness advocate, the company is so generous in giving us a 25% discount, but then we have access to this amazing program as well. So if you have a look at these little blue and green squares here, most people buy in at a 10% rewards points back. And so what that means is that from any of your future purchases, you are going to get 10% back from that purchase price in rewards points. And that's honoring your loyalty to doTERRA if you're continuing to buy monthly. And what happens with that is if you are buying monthly, that's going to roll over every 3 months and accumulate by 5%. So after 13 months, you are going to get another total of 30% back off your purchase price in points that you can then redeem in some of the products that doTERRA have, which is amazing. This last month, I've just bought I just used my points to get 3 bottles of oil and another On Guard cleaner. Yeah. And so in my mindset, I'm like, well, money spent, money gone. Like I had, I'm buying my oils anyway, and then I'm getting extra on top. So that's really beautiful to incur those points. And if there's any type of oil that you're unsure of that might be a bit more of a rarer oil, so they're a little bit more expensive to come across, then you can use your points for those ones, which is awesome. So how that works is if you want to maintain those points that you get, you need to have an order. You need to order monthly. There's absolutely no pressure. You can cancel at any time. But if you order between 1 and 50 PV, now each order that you have will have a point system assigned to it as part of the program. So if you have between 1 and 50 point order, you're going to maintain whatever your points are. If you want it to roll over and incur by that 5% every 3 months, you need to have an order over 50 PB, which is quite simple. And then if you want to start sharing, if like me, if you love these oils and you want to share them with your friends and family and other people because they're changing your life and everybody needs to know about them, if you put an order of 100 PV in each month, then you're going to have access to commissions that you can earn a little bit of money on the side, or you can do it as a full-on abundant business and earn an amazing residual income. And then if you want to get the free product of the month, every single month they have a free product, and that means you put an order of 125 PV, so that's that points value, and you get a free oil of the month. Pretty simple, and it's a pretty amazing and generous offer. And one thing that I have taken advantage of, I've been in the loyalty rewards program now for just on 4 months. I'm about to click over into my 15% points earning, and I'm really excited about the journey ahead, particularly because I'm using the supplements, and the only way I can buy the supplements is through this loyalty reward program. So how cool that I'm getting supplements and then I'm getting something back for my money that I've spent. I don't know any other company that's doing it this way. They are so generous. It's amazing. So if you want to know more information, this is my website, donnaraymond.com.au/oil priestess. That'll just give you a little bit of a run through, a bit more in depth of my journey and my story with essential oils and doTERRA. And if you're ready to jump on board, head over to mydoterra.com/donnaraymond1, and you can click join and save and follow the prompts that way to get yourself set it up with a kit. And we also have free Facebook groups, so Oily Risers, which was a little word pun, essentially playing on the words early risers, because my sister and I are up at the crack of dawn every day. So feel free to jump in there, add some friends in. This is an open group that we're just sharing from our hearts, different recipes, different blends, stories, anecdotal evidence of things that are happening, fact sheet, and we're all inspired to share wisdom with each other to become as empowered as we can, learning about these beautiful plant medicine and how we can journey deeper with them and understand them more fully and incorporate them into our lives in many different ways. And then you also have the opportunity, I invite you into the Team Unicorn Oils group, which is Leonie Dawson's group. So it's got over 2,000 members at the moment. It's a bit more of a larger group, but you're welcome to join there. And again, this is free sharing, spreading that oily love for resources. If you have any questions, reach out. You want to add me as a friend on Facebook, please do. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day.